Hello to another episode of Between the Covers. I normally have my music playing. Let's get the music going. Let's get the music, shall we? Lovely to, it doesn't feel right without the music. Here we go. Blacknut. I am an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful messages and stories out there in the form of books. On the bookshelf are just some of the 300 books that we've published over the last 9 years. I'm absolutely passionate about providing a platform for unseen, unheard authors so they can have their voices heard and stories shared, so they can educate, inspire, and empower for generations to come. Though I'm going to shed some light on the matter and actually turn on the physical light. As you're coming into the broadcast, do tap the screen, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. There we go, that's better. So if you're wondering what this show is about, this show is called Between the Covers. It's a space where I interview authors or up-and-coming authors or people in the writing and publishing industry and ask them what goes on between the covers of creating a book. Because quite often we'll look at books, we'll read them, we'll enjoy them, but we have no idea what goes on between the covers of creating that and that journey. So today I have a very special guest. Before I introduce her, I'm going to share a little bit about what I've been doing over the last 2 days. Over the last 2 days, as we know, it is World Book Day coming up tomorrow, so it should be World Book Day every day. So it's World Book Week. I have been going in and out of primary schools, running workshops for my book, 9 Days of Piper Snow, creating memory boxes, talking about creating characters, unlikely friendships. For those of you who know, I am friends with a pigeon called Piper. If you don't, you can follow him at Piper Snow the Pigeon on Instagram and find out all about his journey to becoming basically moving in to our house. It's not just him now, there's 6 of them. And we've been creating memory boxes. The lesson behind 9 Days of Piper Snow is that if we can hold cherished memories in our heart, then is anything ever really gone? So I'm just going to make sure that we are live and that you can hear me. I have a very special guest who's just come on. Her name is Jhanelle, aka JBK. Now Jhanelle found me on Instagram. She is an amazing, talented young lady. She's only 16 years old. This is her first interview. She's a poet and an artist. She designed her own cover and now a published author. This is her beautiful book called Bloom. She drew this herself. We just enhanced it with some images. Every single poem here is a poem about love. I'm going to read the back actually. Nature is beautiful and simplistic. It evokes the different emotions that one feels on a day-to-day basis. The 5 sections presented in this book visualize and illustrate the euphoria, elegance, sadness, and distress that we feel in our lives. Experience the raw beauty of nature, where every hike feels like a soul reset, or every sunrise brings out a new, fresh version of you. JBK's collection of poetry, Bloom, is medicine for the soul. I'm wearing green to match the cover today. It really shows her love of nature and the belief that we can learn so much about life through nature. So can we please say hello to our lovely, lovely guest? This is her first interview, so please tap the screen, show her some love. Hello, Jhanelle, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Are you in your room?
Yes, I am.
Brilliant. And this is your first interview, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes. How are you feeling?
Pretty good.
Excellent. So you have published your book, Bloom, right? You've written every single one, and it's been quite a long journey, kind of perfecting the poems and getting it all right. So tell us, well, I'm just going to share the link out to people. Tell us what inspired you to, well, before that, have you always wanted to be an author?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to write. I mean, there was lots of career choices I always thought about, like being a teacher or acting and stuff like that. Then when I went to York in 2022, it was a writing retreat, and it made me realize that I actually want to become a writer.
Oh, amazing. You've definitely got the skill for it. And who know, you can do multiple things. So I think it's fantastic. I'm just going to say hello to Naya, who is another talented person. She is an artist as well and an author, and does a lot of our animated videos as well. So hello, Naya. So tell me, how does it feel to be a published author now?
It feels really great. It literally means that I'm actually an author as well. Like, that's my proper occupation, and like I get to tell people that I published my book and everything. So it's pretty exciting.
Amazing. And you must be very, very proud of yourself as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just comment that I can see some palm trees behind you. Is that part of your art as well? Because I know that you're very arty.
Yeah, so I've painted my room in different ways, and then this was like the first thing I painted, and it was like palm tree, really cool.
That is incredible. Wow. I love this. Absolutely love this. So tell us, why is your book called Bloom, and what inspired you to write it? I feel like my chair's sinking, so I'm just going to bring it back up.
So the thing that inspired me to make Bloom was, first I was just making some poem for fun. Like, I wasn't really taking it that seriously, to be honest with you. But then when I started writing more, it made me realize that this is actually like really good and it has potential. So I made it into a book, and then I lost the book, and then I lost the motivation to actually continue it again. So then when I started writing even more, I made Bloom into a whole entire book. And fun fact, it was actually all in first person, the whole entire. But then I changed it to third person to like say in a different perspective of somebody else. Maybe I thought I might be more relatable. And then when it was coming up with the title, it was like, how do I say I want to express all my emotions in one word, but like not using like a really long title? So I literally just thought of Bloom. It literally just came in my head. So yeah, pretty much it.
I think that's amazing. Do you know what that shows? That shows determination, because the fact that you lost it all the first time, and that's happened to me. You lost it the first time, but you pushed on through, and you didn't just leave it as it was. You kind of recreated it and changed it, so it's not all in first person, more kind of looking from the outside. So I think that's a quality to your personality as well. So Naya's got a question. She's got a couple. What do your friends think about your book? She's also said, sorry, the pain of losing a book. Yeah, I can relate, but look at what's bloomed. May it continue to blossom. What a fantastic comment. Thank you, Naya. So she's asking, what do your friends think about your book?
My friends are really happy that I made a book. A lot of them don't read poetry, so it's like confusing for them, but they're also really happy that I've been able to make it into like a book and make it into something that I really love. So yeah, they're really happy for me.
And are they awaiting your next book?
Yeah, they are. They all are.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. And so a lot of your artwork is in here as well. You wanted to have your artwork in here, but you've got your the cover, which is your artwork. Can you talk us through the cover? What inspired you? Do you have a copy on you?
I actually don't have the copy of the drawing of the hand. I only have like the illustrations that I made.
Do you have do you have a copy of your book on you?
Oh, the copy of my book. Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, good. That's what we want. All right. If you want to just hold your book up and just talk through the inspiration behind the cover, I'm just sending your interview out to some people.
Okay, so the hand, I wanted to like kind of show it in a very nice metaphorical way. I just wanted to show it in a way that didn't seem like a stereotypical, like just a flower blooming or something else. I wanted to show it like that it starts from like here, from the palm, from us. Then I wanted to like make it grow from the hand or something like that. I just thought it would be really creative. I just thought it would be really nice, and it is pretty nice. So yeah, and the logo, like the whole font and everything like that, I kind of just wanted it to seem more aesthetically pleasing, more fancy, and fit the whole entire aesthetic of the book.
It definitely is. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, there's one thing you'd be able to write, but being able to actually draw as well is a real skill and put it all together. So, did you have like a vision in terms of like what your book would look like and kind of how it would feel before you actually got it out?
Um, I actually had a vision of my book. It was much more different than the one that's out there right now. Like, for example, I thought the cover would be more like cream instead of green, and I thought that maybe the flower could be blossoming from our chest, but I thought that maybe it would be a bit too much. It might be a bit too like seem a bit too confusing. I just wanted to do it a bit more simplistic instead.
Hmm. I think it's beautiful. Do you have a favorite poem in there?
Yeah, I actually do have a favorite poem. Do I read it?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to hear. Hold on. Naya is saying something here. Whether we blossom in life is truly. Oh, that's a lovely way to look at it. So, whether we blossom in life is truly in our hands. Exactly. It's up to us to decide whether we bloom or whether we just wither away and forget the dreams that we have. Right, I'm going to shut up. I'll take myself out and you share your poem.
So my favorite poem is Page, and it's in the what is it? The volcanic corruption chapter, and I'm gonna read it for you. Okay, and it's on page 37. So Page. He'll chunk paper down her throat, create slits in her esophagus, make her unheard as she did to him. Scribble her name on each page, give her a slap across the face, put her in his place as she did to him. He'll throw her stupidity out the window like a paper airplane. He's an origami, she's a paper mache. She'll make her a part of his play as she did to him. Tear that paper into small pieces, shred it into the fuel. He'll throw her into the dump as she did to him. So, Paige is actually um a poem that's about two people that loved each other, and it was completely bad, very toxic, and it basically wanted to get revenge on someone that you feel very angry towards or like have a lot of resentment to. And so I decided that page was really good because it talks like you did this to me and I want to do this to you. It shows how angry I am. I want to do this to you and I'm going to continue like like a whole back and forth. And I feel like that's the reason why Page is like my favorite poem throughout the whole entire thing.
Amazing. We've got Naya here clicking her fingers. You know the finger snap when you're in the it's not the clap when it's poetry, it's the finger snap.
Uh,
Brilliant. I think that when I was your age, I think even younger, I loved writing poetry, and it was a really good way for me to channel, yeah, finger snapping, to channel emotions and also to express myself. And I love that you had the message of, if something's toxic, maybe you might definitely to walk away from that. But do you find like, how does poetry make you feel when you're writing it?
um, it makes me feel very deep. It's like my poems, all of them, well, some of them, most of them are like from experience or like pain I've heard from like other people, and I'm like super sensitive. So whatever someone else feels, I also feel that as well. So like when I write it, I feel a certain way. I can feel as if like the words are like being written in my chest or something. Like they're really quick.
So you quite empathetic, do you think, Jhanelle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so what did you like really want to get across? If you I know all your poems have different messages, but if you would have like one main message you wanted to share with your audience or your reader, what would that be?
Um, say how you feel all the time. Don't like steal away from your emotions. Like if you're sad, say it. If you're angry, say it. I think that now like a society, we kind of like become sheltered from our emotions. Like we don't really want to say how we feel because we feel scared of judgment, because judgment and criticism have become really high these days. So I that main message is that if you feel a certain way, just say it. Yeah.
That's really important. I think no, it is important because sometimes it's difficult to navigate how somebody feels when they're not saying, first of all, which makes it difficult. But also when we don't speak up and we don't share how we feel, can be quite lonely and isolating, right? And also makes us feel, I mean, I don't know about you, I get sore throat sometimes if I don't say how I feel, but it makes us feel like we're alone. So as Naya says, if you feel it, say it, you know. It's a powerful message. I think that's brilliant. And we're here to experience all different emotions, aren't we? What I love about your book, you're a nature lover like me, so you've kind of used nature in a lot of your poems to reflect parts of life. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, why you chose that theme?
It was literally all stemmed from like that writing retreat. I'm really happy that I went on that retreat because I was in the countryside and I am a city girl at heart. I do not like the countryside at all.
Where was it? What countryside was it? Whereabouts was it?
Or York or something like that. It was like literally up north. It was all
Okay.
cows and ponies and all of that stuff. And like it was all like the hills and it was foggy and all of that stuff. But it was good because when we were writing our poems, it was like a time to like really like look at something and just write something beautiful about it. And one of my poems in my book called You, which is in my fluorescence chapter, is actually something I wrote like back in these like from like 3 years ago, and I put it in the book because I was literally looking at the fog and I made a poem about it.
So really, even though you weren't used to like the cows and the green and probably the quiet, right? It inspired you and you saw nature in a different way, right? I think that's beautiful. Which one is one of your favorite nature poems?
My favorite nature poem is In Bloom, and it's called like she's swimming in the like the river of Grim and Dirt or something like that. That's my favorite nature poem.
Mm-hmm.
It,
So I think we need to hear that. So what do we
oh,
think? If you're watching, do we want to hear some more poetry from Jhanelle? I think we need to hear some poetry from Jhanelle. Here's another fellow poet while you find it. Her name is Michelle. She's written a book with us called, it's on my other shelf, Love the Way You Are So Insightful and Self-Aware. I wish I was like that at your age. Fantastic. So Michelle's the author of Perfectly Imperfect, another poetry book. And I echo her sentiments. You're extremely self-aware, intelligent, smart, same thing, isn't it? Intelligent, smart, artistic, talented, and you speak in such a way that, you know, makes people listen. You know, you've got a lot of wisdom, so always hold on to that. That's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to take myself out and I'm going to let you read. And then if you do the same thing again, if you want to explain what that poem's about, that'd be brilliant. And if you're watching, please do throw up some questions as well. This is Jhanelle's very first interview. She's doing amazingly well. 16-year-old Jhanelle, aka JB Key. JBK has published a poetry book, Bloom. She's on her own cover. She published this January the 23rd, and she's going to be sharing some poetry with us. So I'm going to take myself out now.
So this poem, it's called She's Missing in a Swamp of Grim and Dirt. It's on page 61 and it's in the last chapter of Bloom. Okay. My heart wrenches, my past laying in the trenches. I wish I could escape the muddy river full of dark memories past ages. I wish I could feel the sacred water, water of faith and joy. I just don't know how to swim to the other side of life, bugs and daisies. I'm drowning in this swamp, seaweed, grim dirt, the stingrays biting at me. I just want to be loved. Silence. I drown deeper and deeper. Help me, help me. Someone grab my arm so I can see the blue sky. She's nowhere to be found. She's missing, so is her heart. She's drowning in a swamp of ache when all she wanted was to be loved. So this poem is actually quite sad because it's about suicide, and you can see the change when it says it in first person and then it changes to third person when it says she's nowhere to be found, she's missing, so is her heart. And it basically shows how this person's just longing for happiness or longing for some, like, just to be free, and how they're stuck in their past full of dark memories, past ages, and how they don't know how to get to the other side of life, bugs and daisies, like they can't get to the happiness. So I would say that this poem is very close to me because it talks about mental health, and I've actually had struggles with mental health in the past, and I would say that this is actually my second favorite poem in the book, and I think that this one's quite important, and kind of wish it was in the first chapter though, but I say that this is a pretty good poem.
I think it's more than good. That is an absolutely incredible poem. It's not easy to get your own thoughts and even to share some of your experience in the way that you have just now. It's such an incredibly brave thing to do, and it is an honor to interview you and to hear this poem and to hear you talk about, you know, what it's about and the meaning behind it. I love the metaphors of the water and how wanting to feel the sacred water, but it's full of life, bugs and daisies, the obstacles that the narrator feels in her life. And then you spoke about the change of perspective from first person to second person, and I hadn't actually thought about it in the way that you described it there. And one of my favorite bits here, one of the most powerful bits here, I think, is one word, silence, just by itself. It's just wonderful. Honestly, it's, what do your teachers or, you know, other people think of your poetry? It's incredible.
My English teacher thinks that I'm really good at poetry, and everyone knows that English is 100% my strongest.
Yes, this is what we're talking about. It's the best subject. I'm biased though. I'm a former English teacher. So you're just finishing your GCSEs, aren't you?
No, I haven't.
You're in that final year in May.
Yeah.
In May. Are you going to be doing anything English related after that? Do you think? What are your plans?
So right now, I've been working on like 2 books already. One of them is about a mystery, another one's a poetry book, and I'm really conflicted because I really want to get the murder mystery up. I don't think I'll be able to get it done in time because it's a really long book. So I think I'm gonna get the second poetry book out, and then the murder mystery be at the end of the year. So I'm trying to get 2 done this year.
This is incredible! Wow. I mean, we've done the poetry book now, so you know how how that kind of journey goes. So it'll be a lot faster. Just start thinking about your cover and the inside and the designs. Murder mystery. Don't feel like you need to rush to get it out. Take your time with your books, build them up. Because yeah, you want to build up that excitement. The murder mystery sounds fantastic. I love that. Who likes a murder mystery? It's one of my favorite genres in terms of film anyway.
I'm a very determined person. I just feel like if
No.
I have a plan, I just need to get it done. Otherwise, I'm just gonna lose my mind because I haven't fulfilled the plan yet. So yeah.
Well, you got another 10 books for the following year, have you?
I did say by the time I'm 30, you'll have 10 books out. So I'll see if it's
Well, you're well on your way. You've got like 15 years to go at this rate. I think you're going to be having way more than that. So okay, hold on. I've got a few comments. I'm gonna just read these out for you. Michelle says, so vivid. Wow, I got it. Incredible. It's absolutely, I just love working with authors like yourselves. You know, I learned so much along the way as well. And I'm a poetry lover. So to hear you read that poem and to tell us what it's actually about is just phenomenal. Swimming to the other side, I could see it in my mind. Me too. visual imagery there. Cammy's watching all the way from the US. She is also an author. She's saying, I love this. That's fantastic. Maybe Jhanelle could be someone for you to interview, because Cammy also has a show as well. So if you are watching, get involved. Winston Thomas says, congratulations, very thought-provoking indeed. Lee says, congratulations. Do you know what I think? If you're watching this, please just share this out. If you find this of value and worth, how can you not? Please share this out to your followers. Send us some love. Give us a little like. Or don't give us a like. Give us a love. I love the love button. I barely ever use the like. Cammy was saying, I was just thinking that. Yeah, definitely get in touch with me. Jhanelle, 16-year-old poet, author, and artist. She designed the front cover, and her poems are fantastic. Could you share a few more, please? I think we should hear some more. Do you want to share some more?
Okay.
Brilliant.
Let me do one from the first chapter of the book, which is Ocean Eye, and I think I'm gonna pick the poem Flybird Fly. Which one is
perfect? I'm going to come out in a second, but I just want to read this from Cammy. She says, I would love to interview her. She is a child entrepreneur, and a Black author. So she interviews Black authors. So there you go, and entrepreneurs, and you're a young person. So that's phenomenal. Okay, great. I'm going to take myself out, and you're going to do the same again and explain afterwards. Or you can ask people who are watching what they think it's about.
Okay, so this poem is from Ocean Eye, which is like the first chapter of the book, and it's called Fly Bird Fly. You can find it on chapter 14. Sorry, 14. And I'm gonna read it to you right now. Okay. Flock of crows fly through dim clouds, always in a band, never broke apart, except for the lone one, the deserted one, has a broken wing left behind, no one helping it, how unkind. Flock of crows fly through dim clouds. Dear crow, what have they done to you? Flying alone in a deserted view. He was there, he was you, flying alone in a deserted view. So this poem is actually about like being left out. And I actually took this poem from when I was like bullied in like primary school, which is like super unfortunate. And I was like left out all the time. Actually, like not even like primary school, like nursery. So it was like back. Like so it happened for years. And so when I wrote the poem, I was thinking, let me write it like from my experience. Like let me write something in my experience. So I was thinking crows are always flying together, but there's always one that's going to be left behind. And the poem used to be, I was there, I was you, flying alone in a deserted view, but I changed it to like third person. And I wrote it like, you know, as repetition to like really emphasize on like really being like left behind, like no one like looking out for you. And it's actually like pretty sad. I think I should read a happy poem after this. But yeah.
Oh, what would you tell? Okay, so you're Jhanelle now, and you're 16, right?
Yeah.
And you are now a published author. You're somebody that other young people would look up to. Yeah, even people who are older who really want to publish a book and haven't published one. And you've used your personal experience, some of which has been challenging, to write these beautiful poems that we can all visualize, read, listen, and understand. So, what would you tell your younger self? I know that's a hard question.
I would tell her to number one, not stop reading, because younger me was always in that library, and she didn't like being in that library, but she read a lot, and I think it was worth it because now I'm really good at English, so bravo to me. I don't feel bad that you don't have friends, because I'm telling you this, if you are having no hardships at all, you would have nothing to write about. Like all of these poems, they come from somewhere, and so obviously, like if I didn't have some sort of like obstacle, then there would be nothing for me to write. This book wouldn't exist. So that's why it's hard right now, but trust me, you're gonna thank me later. You're gonna be very happy later. So I'll tell her not to give up, basically.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh. Someone help. I mean, that is just beautiful. And I was saying this the other day, sometimes when we're going through it, and I wouldn't want anybody to be bullied. And when we're going through tough times, sometimes we can't see it an end, and it feels really challenging and hard. But when we kind of think into the future, we think that we will get through it, and we do get through it. And some of these challenges, even though we didn't want them, become a really important part of what we have to offer, like these poems. Yeah, think about, people who are a lot younger than you, who maybe have gone through similar things, being bullied. What you would say to them, they can relate to this poem as well. It's always quality and not quantity. Who's laughing now to those people that bullied you?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're watching, please do let us know, what did you think of that poem, Fly Crow Fly? I thought it was really beautiful and really sad, because I could really visualize that crow kind of left behind, but we never know what that crow is going to go on to do. Would you like to share another one?
Okay, let's do
I know you do.
A happy one from you. Is it Euphoric Affection?
Yeah.
We're going to do Flamingo. Let's do that one.
Okay. All right. I'll take myself out.
I actually have barely read this poem. But it's okay, because I wrote it. Okay? So this one's called Flamingo, page 57, and it's in the Euphoric Affection chapter. Flamingo, Domingo, foxy, elegant, charming tone, extremely pleasant. Once a flamingot, now she's an adolescent. Valentina roams the seas with her neutral present. Her beauty swings the incompetent fish. Her flaming feathers is their new dish. Swish, swish, she's everything they wished. They are her sardines. She pecks them with bliss. Nor is she fiery, nor is she small. Valentina's a raging beauty, a king that wants it all. Peace, prosperity, decency yearning. She may be girlish, but she's still learning. Her butterfly sails after all that burning. Flamingo Domingo, her art is so sterling. I wrote this to it's kind of like a feminine kind of like poem, I wanted to show that girlhood, just growing up, how it says once a flamingo and now she's an adolescent. She was once young and now she's older. And when I wrote that she's a king that wants it all, I mean, yeah, usually girls are the queens, but everyone says king, kings are always the most powerful ones, but women are also powerful. We are always powerful. And I just thought flamingos are just a super, it comes off very feminine, very girly, and I decided to pick that to kind of show that even if you're feminine, you can still be strong. You can still show that you're learning and you're growing, but you're also super powerful, super amazing. So I just wrote that poem, and it was actually a fun poem I wrote because I just came up with it on the spot. So I think that was a really good one.
I love that one. I love that. Have you actually seen a flamingo before?
I have actually. I went to Amsterdam in a zoo and I saw a bunch of flamingos there. So.
Oh wow! They do that funny paddling thing with their feet, don't they?
Yeah, we do.
They're very cool. I love them. Michelle says, "You are so wise." Oh, hold on. Historically, women were kings. Exactly. We were. It's all in reverse now. That's another conversation. We ruled. Michelle says, "You are so wise beyond your years. God definitely has a plan. For you. Absolutely impressive. 100%. 100%. Do you think you could see yourself doing spoken word poetry in doing events and things?
I don't know about spoken poetry, but I do know that I'll probably be on stage one day giving those life lesson things like TED Talks. I can stop doing that. I just can't see myself.
Maybe you might do that, the TED Talk in poetry format.
I mean,
I haven't seen that done before.
I could actually.
That could be another. That could be another challenge. I think you'd be very good reading your poems. Yeah, speaking your poems. Because obviously working with you, I'm reading them in my mind. I can't hear your voice, and when you read them, it kind of really brings it to life. Michelle published her book with us in. I met her in January, and she published her book in May. And she hadn't done any spoken word. All of her poems are kind of just only she'd seen them, so it's the first time she'd shared them. And now, whenever I see her on social media, she's always doing an event. You know, she started off not wanting to, and now she's always reading her poems at events, and she's fantastic. So maybe I'm just dropping a seed in there, dropping a seed. Maybe you could start by reading some in the assembly first. Yeah.
Is that again?
Maybe you could start by reading some in assembly first.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely need to. Definitely. Lee says impressive, fabulous. Winsome says, I truly feel your heart in your poems. This is lovely feedback. Ted would be lucky to have you. Yes, they would. So if you're watching and you would like a copy of the book, you can get a signed copy here from the Conscious Dreams bookshop. You can also get it from Amazon. You can get it from all online retailers. But you can also get it from Amazon. Here is the link. Please do support a young author. She's absolutely, look what I'm going to do here, Jhanelle. Blooming, beautiful, wonderful poetry. That was sad, wasn't it? Do you want to share? Let's have two more, and then we're gonna have to hop over to Instagram. Okay, two more. So think carefully about which ones that you want to share, because you've got so many. And if you want to hear more, go get the book.
So I'm going to. Okay, if it was gonna be two more, maybe I should just do the ones where they match. I wrote two matching poems about two people that I love each other. That is called "I Love You Sun" and "I Love You Moon." So I think I should just do that one instead.
Ah, yes, page 66 and 67. I just want to see if there's an image with that. Sorry, I just want to show each image, like yours, Michelle, actually has like an artistic work by each chapter heading. I really like that. Anyway, I'm coming out.
Okay, so I'm gonna read "I Love You Sun" first. You can find this in Bloom, the last chapter, and it's on page 66. And I'll read the second one, which is "I Love You Moon," which is page 67. It's also in the last chapter of the book. So, number one, "I Love You Sun." Sunflower, her superpower, her beauteous brown eyes with her blonde petals. She's the shooting star that relaxes the clouds, her slim body, her snatching aura. She has her clouds, hides in the weeds to survive. She's sweeter than any beehive. She makes me swing, she makes me prance, the sunlight of our romance. Okay, and then "I Love You Moon." He's the weeds that protects me. In summer, spring, fall breeze. When the winter comes, he brings the heat for my pollen. I thought I'd be lost. I thought I'd be forgotten. But he was the beetle that brought back the sun. He was the one who brought back the fun. Even if my stomata was broken chewing gum, he is the night sky. Not one star has caught my stamina, but he did. The moonlight of our romance. So, I made these two matching poems because, well, I was so in love with a guy, and to be honest, I decided to write.
Hold on, you're only 16.
I'm only 16, but can I tell you something, guys? You're never too young to know what love is. Let me okay.
I'm just gonna come out.
I'm maybe 16, but trust me, this is like my first love. Okay, this is not like I've had multiple boyfriends. I promise that. Like, that's definitely not happening. Okay, so I made it. It was like two matching poems, one for me and one for the guy. I decided to write from two perspectives because I wanted to show that usually stereotypically girls are always the ones that are very down bad for guys and always the ones that are expressing how they feel. But I wanted to show it that it can be both of them. It can be the guy and the girl, and you can show that opposites attract. It can show that no matter what, you two will love each other. And you know what? I think that when it said the sunlight of our romance and then the moonlight of our romance, I think that's like really nice because it shows that you both need each other, even though you two are complete opposites. You guys are both still gonna need each other at the end of the day. So that's it. That's it right there.
I like that. That's called reciprocity. So when it's not just one person giving or expressing, it's both. And it's the same in, friendship. You want a friendship that to have that same love with each other, no matter what kind of relationship that is.
Yeah.
So, Jhanelle, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak with you, but I can't let you leave without you telling or imparting some more final words of wisdom to your lovely audience.
Okay, so everybody just know, if it's bad right now, if you think it's the end, trust me, it's not the end. Things are going to be tough, okay? Things are going to be super hard, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to accomplish anything, okay? I didn't think I was going to publish a book, and I didn't think that I was even going to be able or capable enough to write a book. I was always doubted a lot when I was growing up, and I didn't think I would ever even have the capacity to write poems or write it into something cool. But I did, and I think that you should never, ever, ever give up. Even if you think, no, don't ever doubt yourself, because only you are your biggest supporter. Only you are the only person that can get you from the place you want to get to. You need to go for what you want and more. Okay, that's what I'm going to say.
Oh, I'm in tears here. Amen. You are incredible. Absolutely incredible to have that wisdom and that insight at your age. It takes some people a lifetime to discover that, to keep going. Yeah. And that I can see you have a purpose and a calling on your life, and you have the capacity to do whatever you want to do. And I can see you doing so much good in this world. And this is just one book. It doesn't have to be through a book. It's through you speaking, expressing yourself through your art, through your talent, and through your wisdom that's yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Michelle says, I'm godsmacked. I can't believe she's just 16. I know. Yeah, I didn't realize at 16 very few have the insight and balance. Exactly. Lee says, wonderful. Honestly, you are absolutely incredible, young lady. And remember that advice for yourself when things get tough.
Yeah.
Awesome motivational words from a 16-year-old. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic. Listen, you can get a copy of Bloom from the Conscious Dreams bookshop. You only heard a snippet of it today. There's so much more to come from JBK, aka Jhanelle. You can also get a copy of this from any online retailer as well. Please do support Jhanelle. You can hop over to my Instagram to find her Instagram page, which is purely for her book. Or do you want to share it? Because it's just for your book, isn't it, Jhanelle?
I mean, I would say it's just a personal blog for me.
Okay.
Look at that there.
Perfect. All right. Just follow me. Conscious Dreams Publishing. Amazing. Thank you so much. You've been fantastic, Jhanelle. Stay online while I say bye to everybody else. Join me next week where I'll be interviewing the awesome and amazing. I think you'll really like this one. Her name's Michaela Jones. She's written a book called Safe to Be Seen and Heard, her memoir of overcoming some very, very difficult challenges in her life. JBK, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining. Have a beautiful week. It's World Book Day tomorrow, International Women's Day on Saturday. Let's be strong, let's be bold, let's be powerful, and start to make change.
Thank you. Bye.